The world lost a truly one-of-a-kind leader over the weekend. John McCain, six-term Arizona state senator and revered war veteran, has just passed away a few days shy of his 82nd birthday. Israeli leaders from across the spectrum have mourned McCain's death as a major loss for the world. Prime Minister Netanyahu has published his condolences on Twitter, saying, quote, "The state of Israel salutes John McCain." The third generation in a long line of Navy men, McCain was a naval aviator during the Vietnam War. When his plane was shot down over the North Vietnam area in 1967, he was quickly captured by the Vietnamese and remained their prisoner of war for nearly 6 years. The years of physical and psychological torture he sustained during that time left quite a toll on his body, one that he would feel until his final days. But less than 10 years after being freed from his Vietnamese prison, McCain found himself entering politics. In 1982, he was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, followed by his election to the U.S. Senate in 1987, where he would continue to serve for the next 20-plus years in 6 consecutive terms. During that time, he maintained a largely conservative platform, and yet he also defined political bipartisanship and cooperation by being willing to go against his party, the Republican Party, when he felt it was right to do so.
I think the message that the American people are sending us now is they want us to work together and get to work. I think we ought to let Senator Clinton, who is obviously qualified and obviously will serve, to get to work immediately.
That reputation as a kind of maverick in the GOP was never more apparent than during the early days of the Trump campaign. McCain initially endorsed then-candidate Trump, a sort of maverick in his own right, only to publicly unendorse him following the leak of the infamous Access Hollywood tape. In that footage, originally filmed in 2005, Trump can be heard making inappropriate and offensive comments about women, comments which many felt were tantamount to admissions of sexual assault. Trump at one point refuted McCain's title as a war hero, saying at a public rally that, quote, "He is a war hero because he was captured. I like people who weren't captured," end quote. In the most public of their clashes, McCain famously gave the final decisive vote to strike down Trump's proposal to repeal and replace the Obamacare health plan, giving Trump one of his biggest legislative failures in his presidency. But in Israel, the legacy of John McCain is one of great support for Israeli interests, security, and friendship. Leaders from both the left and the right have praised McCain's fearlessness to vote with his heart and his mind over politics. After a long fight with brain cancer, John McCain's body is finally at rest, but his legacy will always live on.
I'm going home for a while to treat my illness. I have every intention of returning here and giving many of you cause to regret all the nice things you said about me. And I hope to impress on you again that it is an honor to serve the American people in your company. Thank you, fellow senators. Mr. President, I yield the floor.